How often are you listening to God? First thing we have to do is we have to receive. We have to receive. Second thing, we want to hear well. We have to remove. We have to remove. Sometimes we're trying to do something and we don't realize that there's an obstacle in the way. There's something that's blocking us from the thing we're trying to accomplish. We can have all this moral filth. We can throw ourselves into everything that God hates and then try to show up and hear from him. He's saying, I just need you to understand, if you really want to hear from God, you got to get rid of the moral filth that stands in the way. So when we give into sin, this is why it gets in the way, it pulls us away from God. When we love what God hates, we're moving in a direction opposite of God. When God says that lust is bad and we've been drowning in it all week, it is hard to hear that word from God clearly. When we've been building habits for several years that train us to believe that lust and everything that comes with it is good, it is hard to hear the opposite from God's word. I want to ask you, what in your heart may be keeping you from hearing from God? It could be an addiction. It could be a relationship. It could be the way that you idolize your work. It could be prejudice you have against your neighbor. It could be bitterness towards other people who wronged you. Whatever it is, we should remove it. Remove that moral filth and do what? Humbly accept the word planted in you. To humbly accept God's word means that every time we hear from God, every time we gather to hear from God, we should be ready to throw away everything for whatever he has to say to us. Every time we open God's word to read it, we should be ready to lay everything down. We should come before God when we hear from him saying, God, whatever you have to say, that's what I'm gonna do. Whatever's in my hands that I need to drop, I'm ready to let that go. Whatever I've been straying away from that you're calling me towards, I'm ready to grab a hold of that. We want to humbly receive it. Is that your posture when you come to hear from God's word?